Batting from the pavilion end is going to be Gaurav Bhatia. Gaurav Bhatia, Vice President and Head Leasing South Region, Brookfield Properties. Gaurav Bhatia is Vice President and Head of Leasing for the Southern Region at Brookfield Properties in India. In this strategic role, he spearheads business development, leasing operations, tenant relationships and asset management, overseeing a vast portfolio spanning over 14 million square feet. With a rich professional background spanning over 2 decades in the real estate industry, Gaurav stands out as a distinguished expert renowned for his proficiency in corporate real estate and developer operations. Happy to have you here, Gaurav, and looking forward to your perspectives.
A very good afternoon to everyone. It's an honor speaking at this forum today. In this session, we will aim to actually cover how real estate workplace solutions integrate and synergize with the 3 critical pillars of talent, ESG, credibility and scale during the entire life cycle of a GCC. We will cover each of these critical pillars and their link to real estate, and we'll also see how Brookfield Properties is partnering with each of multiple GCCs across India on their portfolio roadmap as well. Starting with the first critical pillar of scale. Now, obviously, real estate solutions need to adapt and evolve as and when based on the flexibility, risk, cost and size requirements of a business. When a business is entering new, setting up shop for the first time in a new geography, obviously they want to minimize their capex, they want to limit their risk, they want flexibility, and they prefer some sort of a flexible, on-demand workplace solution. As growth picks up, they look at a more dedicated solution, which at the same time gives them a little bit more flexibility, but limited commitment to cost. And as they go on building their headcount, they go in for larger managed office solutions, which are maybe a commitment of a floor or 2. And as they get into the upper trajectory of growth, then they start committing to larger campuses, traditional leases. And when their business model begins to evolve, maybe they become global centers of innovation. People spoke about not only just process outsourcing, but also product development and talent development. They also prefer having their own campuses, which could be either leased or they could also be purchased. Now at Brookfield, we have a wide portfolio of solutions across India, whether it's a single seat solution or a multi-million square feet campus. We have everything in our portfolio, and I'll touch upon that in a little while. But the idea over here is, over the life cycle, from inception to maturity, the real estate strategy keeps evolving, and based on that, one needs to have a very partner who is able to cater and handhold you throughout this entire journey. Another important aspect I wanted to touch upon, people spoke about talent, competitive advantage, people spoke about capability, new technologies, but cost still remains an important arbitrage. And SEZs actually play a very important role in operating cost performance. The real estate operating cost in SEZs is almost 15 to 20% lower as compared to a non-SEZ, given the indirect tax benefits. Also, SEZs, given the fact that they are larger developments, they come with an established ecosystem. Also, since they are approved by the center and the state government, their title diligence is always very clean. It's a very smooth process. At Brookfield, of our 50 million square feet portfolio across the country, more than 30% of our portfolio is SEZ. We continue to see huge amount of traction, both from existing tenants who have existing SEZ license, even clients who are entering India into the first time, despite the direct tax benefits rules changing. A lot of people still prefer the SEZ growth roadmap, because it gives you huge custom duty benefits, especially your networking, capex, and things like that. The cost arbitrage is quite significant. So I wanted to touch upon this aspect as well while we are talking about real estate portfolios. Yeah. Coming to the second pillar of talent. Now, workplace experience is a very important catalyst and a key differentiator when it comes to the talent life cycle. Obviously there were multiple people who spoke on the importance of talent and building the talent pipeline. Now, workplace experience has got multiple constituents. It can be location, it can be workplace design, it can also be the ecosystem outside the physical workplace. And each of these components have a different weightage in the talent life cycle. So initially, when you are setting up a new business, location is of paramount importance. You want something which is closer to talent catchments, you want something which is closer to public transport, has last mile connectivity, metro connectivity. Also brand visibility, people want to be seen with their other domain peers, or they want to maintain a certain level of branding in the market, they want to attract talent from other organizations. At Brookfield, out of our 30 campuses across the country, most of them are all in established and well-connected micro markets, and some of them are in the evolving micro markets as well. Now, as you go on from attracting talent to building more talent, the workplace design becomes more important. Gone are the days of conventional office design. Employees now want a more vibrant, workplace which fosters both innovation, collaboration, more open workspaces. So the conventional seating layouts are dead. There are no more fixed desks anymore. People are laying more emphasis on, collaborative pods, breakout zones. So the overall workplace experience inside the office is changing. We help our clients also design their workplace. We also help them, in some cases, if there is a capex limitation that clients have, we also help them fund the capex as well. And help them redesign and reposition their workplaces, in building their talent pipeline. Now, the other important thing which is picked up pace after COVID is the importance of having an established ecosystem and the amenitization aspect. People are no longer coming to office. Like somebody said, Mr. Priyaranjan said in his session that the GBS is dead. So physical office spaces are dead, but they are transforming. The same thing, people are coming to an evolving ecosystem, an established ecosystem, which gives them the experience, gives them the opportunity to innovate, collaborate, and also socialize. That's why having amenities and a self-sufficient ecosystem in a campus is of paramount importance. Most of our properties, we have some marquee standalone assets which are not campuses, but 90% of our properties all will have curated F&B options. We have daycare centers, gymnasiums, sports facilities. We have a very strong calendar of tenant engagement activities. Last month we conducted India's largest corporate quiz across all our campuses. We had the Pride March, a few months back. We have rock concerts. Most of our campuses come with amphitheaters. So we keep the community alive and engaged. And that's a very important sticky point to get people back to their offices and encourage footfalls, and also indirectly that benefits our occupiers as well. Coming to the third and one of the most critical pillars which has picked up pace in recent times is the ESG. Now, like all other businesses, for the shared service business also, the ESG components are very heavily intertwined. And the built environment plays a very critical role in the ESG value creation opportunities. And I will touch upon each of these components. On the environment side, just to lay down some facts, 30% of a building's carbon footprint is during construction. The balance 70% is during the operating life cycle of the building, which is over, say 40 years of this thing. So, at Brookfield, from an operational carbon footprint, All our buildings are now migrating to green energy. We have a renewable business also in India, and that is now teaming up with the real estate business, and we are integrating and supplying all our buildings with green energy. By 2025, most of our buildings will be running on green energy, and we are reducing our operational carbon footprint. On the embodied carbon footprint, that is all our new developments, all our repurposing of existing old buildings, we are going in for new age building materials as well. So not only on the operating side, but also on the embodied carbon side, we are taking a lot of initiatives in reducing carbon footprint. On water and waste management, we are one of the leaders. EcoWorld in Bangalore is one of the few facilities in Asia which is a true net zero waste facility. And to get to that, it actually means that whether it's water, whether it is e-waste, everything can be tracked and monitored. On the social aspect, we work extensively with public authorities, civic authorities in public infrastructure upgradation. We do multiple CSR activities as well. On occupational health and safety, we are the leaders. All our campuses are well rated. We also have recently received a 5-star rating from the British Safety Council, for most of our campuses as well. We do a lot of training programs for employees, workers who work on our campuses to ensure a safe and productive environment. On the inclusivity aspect also, all our campuses, not many developers focus on this aspect, but all our buildings are RPWDA compliant. So they basically have, they enable free access and movement for people with certain physical challenges. We were the only developer which did a Pride March across all their campuses in India a few months ago. On the governance side, we do extensive risk mitigation and diligence for all our assets, whether it's climate risk, whether it is fire risk, flooding risk. We do a 10-year, 20 and a 30-year forecast of how the external environment is going to pan out, keeping in mind external development factors as well. Now, what this offers our occupiers is a very sustainable occupancy experience, which translates into both top line, bottom line, and investment optimization opportunities. So ESG and the built environment are very closely linked, and that's why I wanted to speak on this. I'll briefly touch upon how Brookfield is able to partner with GCCs across the country on their portfolio roadmap. Today, we are India's largest FDI investors. We have been in the country for the last 10 years. We have $24 billion invested in this country. And given our global reach and our extensive local presence, a lot of occupiers who are coming into India for the first time or are growing within the country, they are able to capitalize well, given our extensive local expertise across India. This is just an existing snapshot of the 50 million square feet, both in terms of campuses and flexible workplaces that we have. And this portfolio is continuously growing. We are in the midst of more acquisitions as well as we speak. The ESG aspect is a very, very important strategic agenda for us. Our net zero timelines are 2040. We are trying to advance it much closer. Like I said, by 2025, 80% of our buildings will be running on green energy. The decarbonization roadmaps for all our assets is in place, and we are going to be rolling out the initiatives to achieve those timelines. We have got EV chargers installed across all our buildings. We've got LEED ratings, BE5 ratings. So we are trying to make all our buildings more environment friendly and also work towards this net zero timeline of 2040. We are GRESB rated. We have received the highest rating in terms of government, in terms of governance. GRESB is the international body which rates REITs on their operating performance in terms of environment impact. Like I said, all our assets are well rated. We've also received very high ratings, from the British Safety Council. Tenant and employee safety is of paramount importance to us. We are RPWDA compliant across all our buildings. That means that people who have certain physical challenges are able to navigate and move freely, whether it is tactile flooring, whether it is ramps, whether it is braille system in lifts. We take care and ensuring, all people are seamlessly able to move within the campus. We are also part of the Valuable 500 and various other diversity initiatives. So we are not a developer, we are a partner in growth, and and that's very important, because today somebody who is growing, entering the country for the first time or growing their footprint, we have a portfolio solution not only in terms of size but also in terms of capability, right? Happy to take any questions or any clarifications people may have. I think good. So I think I covered all the points quite clear. Right? Okay, thank you. I think I'm on time. I covered up for the.
Thank you very much for being on time and for giving perspectives regarding the real estate industry. I'd like to request Sunil Agarwal, VP Enterprise Performance Management, Quintess Global, to please come and give a thank you memento to Gaurav.